Ashley Barrett was not a perfect person or a hero, but she was a victim. In the beginning, we see Ashley as the hardworking and eager assistant to VP Madeline Stillwell of Vought. That in itself is a huge achievement. To get where she was then, Ashley had to be ambitious, strategic, and assertive. Where Ashley was in season 1, she earned. And I bet at the time she only had to sacrifice just a small piece of her soul. Just a little bit. Overlook just a few appalling acts of depravity and lack of respect to human dignity. Because come on, it's corporate America. And by season 2, Ashley gets a job that has more power, definitely a bigger paycheck, and she seems so excited and optimistic. And what is one of the first things she does? Uses her newfound position to bring more diversity into the 7. Make it a much more inclusive space, which from a capitalistic perspective makes sense, because the more people you try to appeal to, the bigger your customer base. She happily leads Homelander to his new teammate, but instead of hearing her out, the vain, villainous, and violent Soup slaps away Ashley's entire sense of safety, agency, and hope. This arrogant, amoral assailant makes it crystal clear what life is gonna be like for her now. Homelander will end her without a second thought if she sets even a single strand of hair out of line. And Ashley knows that he knows that she knows that there is no one coming to protect her. And while it's never explicitly said, it's quite clear that Ashley can never leave. She knows too much, and in certain situations, she's even implicated herself. She is trapped, and understandably still wants to live, so her life becomes a never-ending back and forth between pleasing Homelander to stay alive and him reminding her of who's in charge through threats and intimidation. Ashley is constantly terrified, and she had only one of 3 options. Fight and meet whatever fate that brings, flight and be hunted by Vought, or play fun to stay alive. Not everyone is going to take the former 2 options, and she's not an inherently bad person for it. Yes, Queen Maeve and Starlight choose to fight, but they had superpowers and popularity. Ashley was on her own. And like most victims who are trapped, she plunged herself into moments of denial and focused on the flashy things in her life. Because it's not like Homelander had her living in a dirty basement. Through him, she became CEO of Vought and enjoyed all the perks that came with it. Large salaries, red carpet events, designer clothes, private helicopters and all. Classic tactic of control. Threaten someone's life to get them to do what you want, but also give them treats so that the victim will justify staying. But that can only carry a person in a hostile situation for so long. In the show, Ashley repeatedly showed her moments of struggle, because again, she is not an evil person. She has morals, she just wasn't acting on them. She was ripping out her own hair to deal with the stress and exercised what little control she had in her life to cope. In either ordering around employees like other Ashley, calling out A-Train on his hypocrisy, or using her sexuality to dominate men. But Ashley wasn't always a scared and passive victim. She did display acts of rebellion. One of the significant ones was in season 3, where she deliberately hid the fact that Queen Maeve survived and never told Homelander. Ashley knew full well what hiding something like this from Homelander would mean. But she did it anyway. And that means something. Then, in a messed up way, she went against Homelander again by protecting A-Train and framing someone else for something that Homelander would have ended A-Train over. Season 4 gave Ashley the opportunity to hightail it out of there with A-Train, but like many victims, was too afraid to actually leave. At the end of season 4, Black Noir and the Deep are cleaning house with any non-Soup in the building, and Ashley makes a desperate attempt to save her life by giving herself Compound V. Season 5, we don't know what to expect. I certainly didn't see Vice President of the United States for her. But given Homelander's goals, made sense. In The Boys' final season, Ashley's arc was about finally being forced to confront her guilt, sense of reason, basic human compassion, and the inner turmoil that came with it. Instead of just suppressing her conscience, she fought with it. Bashley, aka Backhead Ashley, even tried to take charge and force Ashley to do the right thing. Yet in the end, Ashley kept firm on the path that kept her alive until she finally broke, ran away, and helped the boys get to Homelander to end him for good. Ashley Barrett wasn't good, but she wasn't evil. She was a victim who played fawn to survive and did. That being said, she deserved to be impeached, and I'm gonna need her to serve double-digit sentence in federal prison, because victim or not, she still helped Homelander do hundreds of terrible things.